Hello viewers, welcome to CEC lectures. Today's topic is static class members, which we are going to cover under the umbrella of our lecture series Introduction to Programming using C++. Now you must have heard the term static. So static is actually a keyword in C which has been, I can say, inherited in C++ as well, and static members are having their own importance. So whenever I am talking about the members which are static, that means I am talking about both. That means a function or a data member of a class can be made static. So a class can have a static data member as well as a class can have a static function as well. Now whenever we are declaring any member using a static keyword, that means we are actually kind of prefixing the word or the keyword static with its declaration. So using this declaration, we are going to tell the compiler one very important thing, that is only one copy of that variable will exist and all the objects of the class will share that variable. So let me give an example. For example, I have taken one variable, let's say v, and that variable is being declared as static. How? That I will be covering soon. That means syntax I will be telling you. So that variable v is being declared as static, and value of v has been changed to, let's say, 10 somehow by one object, and then there is another object of the class which is sharing that variable v, or which is accessing that variable v. So the value which is available to the next class object is the value 10 which is being set by the previous object. That means if you can remember, in case of an object, variables are declared separately. That means if there are two variables a and b and there are, let's say, three objects obj1, obj2 and obj3. So obj1 is going to have its own copy of a and b, obj2 is going to have its own copy of a and b, and so is obj3. But in case of an static variable, only one copy of that variable will exist and all the objects of the class will share that variable. So let's say there is a static variable v, so that v will be accessed by object 1, obj1, v has to be accessed by object 2 and v has to be accessed by object 3. v here means here is the same copy of that variable. There are no separate copies attached with each and every object as happens in the case of regular data member. So regular data members, individual copies are made for variables, while in case of an static member variable, no individual copies are made. There is one shareable copy which all the objects are sharing. So in this situation, we can also insist upon the fact that no matter how many objects of the class are created, only one copy of a static data member exists and all objects of that class uses that same copy. Another important point with static members is all static variables are initialized to 0 before the first object is created. Even if the first object is not yet created, if there is a static variable which has been declared as static, that variable will be initialized to 0. Now something related to syntax which is very important is, when a static data member is declared within a class, we considered it as not defined. It is just declared within the class, it is not defined. What does it mean? That essentially means no storage allocation is being done for the variable when this is declared in the class. So declaration in the class is not equivalent, or declaration obviously is not equivalent to definition. Declaration is you are in a way telling the compiler that this is a variable which we are going to use, and definition is actually you are providing a memory allocation, memory or storage allocation for it, and also you are providing a initial value to it. So in case of an static data member, when it is declared within a class, it is not defined, therefore no storage allocation for it is being done. Instead, a global definition for it elsewhere outside the class must be provided. So that means definition for a static variable is going to be placed outside the class anywhere else. So how are we going to do it? The answer is, this is done by redeclaring the static variable using the scope resolution operator to identify the class to which it belongs. This causes storage for the variable to be allocated. So once the variable has been declared as static, there is no storage allocation for that variable. And if you are interested in getting the memory or storage allocation done for that static variable, then you need to redeclare that static variable using the scope resolution operator. And scope resolution operator is there in order to identify the class to which it belongs. So simply, if we can say, a class declaration, a logical construct that does not have physical reality. That's just a logical construct if I am talking about class declaration. Now let us see what all facts I was describing here, how we are going to incorporate those facts within the program. So let's say we have a class which is named as shared, and there is a variable b which is a normal variable, as you can see on the screen. Then there is a variable a which is an static variable, and both these are declared inside the private section or private area of class shared. Within the public section there is an function set which is taking two parameters I and j, and these two parameters are giving their own value to a and b, where a is a static variable while b is a normal variable. And then there is a declaration of the member function which is show, which is a non-parameterized function and returning nothing, void basically. So this is, so now what all is missing in this class definition? If you can see this carefully, what fact I was saying is ki if you are going to declare the member static member inside the class, no storage allocation is being done for it. So one thing is which is left is getting the storage allocation done for the static variable a. Another thing which is left is actually providing the body of the function show. These are the two things which are left. Now let's see the next snippet of the program. So first thing, how are we going to define the static variable a? So this static variable a has been declared as static int a inside the class definition, while for the declaration, if you can notice the place, this is outside the class. So outside the class I am going to say, let's say integer a, but as it is an static variable and only one copy of that static variable is going to be created, so here we need to tell that this copy is actually belonging to which particular class, because a is a member variable defined inside the class. So here instead of just saying integer a, we will say int shared, which is the name of the class. then double colon, which is a scope resolution operator, and then a. So here the earlier statement, when I said integer, static integer a, that is just the declaration of a, and here we are defining a by saying the integer shared name of the class, then scope resolution operator and a. So we have declared it within the class and we have defined it separately. So that is one thing. Another code snippet which is being shown here is the definition of show, which is a member function of the class shared. So that's a simple definition which is showing two things. One is the value of a with with the statement, this is static a, and the value of b with the statement, this is non-static b, and then there is a simple cout statement. So show is having the responsibility of showing the value of a and b along with showing that whether these are static or non-static. Now coming to the main definition. So main function or main definition is having two objects of the class shared x and y. Here are two objects, if you can see, one object is x, another one object is y, and these belong to shared class, and with x and with y we are actually setting the variables a and b to different values. So let's see what is happening. So if I can see the next statement, which is x dot set 1 comma 1. So according to the definition of set, it is going to set the value of a to 1 as well as the value of b to 1, where please recall that a is an static variable while b is a normal variable, and then there is a call of function show along with the object x. So using the dot operator, so x dot show. So this is going to say this is static variable a, value is 1, this is static variable b, value is 1. Now what is happening in the next statement? I have written y dot set 2 comma 2. So now here the object y is going to set the variables a and b with the values 2 for each, and I am repeating, a is static, b is a normal variable. So here a is going to be changed as 2, and then we will be displaying the value of a and b by using x dot show. Obviously it is going to display value 2 and 2 for a and b both. And after this, now here is something which we need to see very very carefully, that after this we are actually calling x dot show again. So that means what this x dot show is going to do, this x dot show is actually going to print the value of a and b which are assigned for the object x. So this is what the agenda. So here if you can see, what is the output is the static variable a 1, the non-static variable b 1. So with x dot show it is going to be 1 1, then with y dot show it is going to be 2 and 2. When again we are calling x dot show, this is going to show static a as 2, non-static b as 1. Now see what is happening here. The initial call with x show is showing 1 1. The initial call with y show is going to display 2 comma 2. Now if we are calling again x dot show, so that x is having its own copy of variable b which is still 1. that has not been changed. But if we look at the value of a, the x has assigned the value of a as 1, but now it is getting 2. Why? Because a is being shared between x as well as between y both. So initially x has assigned value of a as 1, then that value has been changed to 2 by the object y, and when x is going to display that value, it is going to get the value 2, not the value of 1, because a is shareable variable, I can say, between the objects. So a has assigned 1, y has assigned 2, x has assigned 1, y has assigned 2, and now again when x is going to show, it is going to get 2, which is the recent value shown by set by y. While in case of b, if you can see, there is a copy of variable b for object x, there is a copy of variable b for object y as well. So non-static b is having 1 for x, non-static b is having 2 for y, and in case of x dot show being called again, it is going to show the initial value of b. So that means value of b is separate for both the objects, while the value of a is not separate for both the objects. So that means static variables are actually being shared between all the objects, because here and now the coming to the way of declaration, the integer a is declared both inside the shared and outside of it, that means within the class and outside the class both. And as mentioned earlier, it is very necessary, or it is a kind of mandatory thing, because the declaration inside the class does not allocate storage. So if you want to get the storage allocated, then in that case one definition or declaration, we can say, outside the class has to be there. Now if you can see, or if you try to imagine that what is the utility of having a static member variable, or having such a variable whose value is being shared by every object. So for example, let's say I am working with a library system, and there are different sections in the library. That means science section is allocating variables, science section is giving the books separately, while there is one outlet from the social sciences section. And let's say in one day, how many books have been allocated to a student, that has to be counted. So one idea is you can have one shareable element, which is a shareable variable, which is being accessed by the science section or science object, another, and for the non-sciences or humanities objects as well, and they will keep on updating the value as and when they issue the books. So that could be one idea, because a static member variable, now this is a fact that static member variable exists before any object of its class is created. For example, in case in the program which we have just seen, a is both public and static, and that's why it can be directly accessed in the main. And since that variable exists before an object of it is created, this can be given value at any time. So that means the dependency is not there in terms of that an object has to be created first and then the value has been value is to be assigned to the variable. No such dependency. Your static variables can be given a value at any time, before because they exist before an object of the class is being created, and as the program illustrated, that value of A is unchanged by the creation of object X. So, for this the both output statements display the same value. Now, let us see one more example of this static variables. That means these variables are to be assigned values before any object creation, that is also possible. So, here the same class structure has been taken, but now in this class, if you can notice, the static variable is declared inside the public section. In the previous program, the variable was declared inside the private section, and now this variable A being in the public section can be accessed by main as well, and that main can access this static variable A before creation of any object. So, here you can see class shared, then within the public section we have static integer A, and then int shared A, normal definition as we have seen in the previous example. So, here A is being initialized before creation of any objects within the main. So, and the initialization happens with the scope resolution operator of the class. That means shared is the name of the class and then scope resolution operator A, and that is equals to 99, let us say any value, and the initial value is being printed. Now, please notice the use of variable in the cout statement, that is shared and then scope resolution operator and then A. Then now what we did is we have created one object of this shared class, and then with the object of the class shared, which is X, we have accessed X dot A. So, that means as we have kept this in the public section, we can use it without any object just by saying the scope, just by putting the scope resolution operator and the class name. And another way to access shared is object dot operator and then a name of the variable. So, variable A is referred to through the use of class name and the scope resolution operator, and in general we can say to refer to a static member independently of an object, you need to qualify it by using the name of the class to which it is a member. So, that means the class inside which a static variable is being declared, that class name along with the object resolution operator can be used to refer the static member independently, and that can be done irrespective of any other object. Now, one use of an static member variable is to provide access control to some shared resources which are used by all the objects of a class. For example, here is a very practical scenario which says you need to create several objects and each of that objects need to write to a specific disk file, but in case of a write operation, only one object can be allowed to write to the file at a time. So, that means the file is a shareable resource. So, in case of a shareable or a shared resource which is to be used by all the objects of a class, the static member variables can help. So, that means in this situation what you can do is you want to declare a static variable that indicates when the file is in use and when it is free. So, each object is going to interrogate the variable before writing to the file, and it will be allowed to write only when the shareable resource or the file is free. So file is free if it is a kind of, we can say, flag set, then only object is going to allow object is allowed to write onto the file, otherwise we will not allow the use of this shareable resource. Another use of static member variable is to keep track of the number of objects of a particular class type that are in existence. So we can say, in case of an static member variable, it is also used to count how many objects a particular class type how many objects of a particular class type are being created. So every time one object is being created, you can increment the counter by 1, and in this way you will be able to keep a track of how many objects are being created for a particular class type. So if we can see static variables or static members, in the starting of the lecture I have told you that there can be static variables as well as there can be static member functions. So in this lectures we have seen static variables only, we have seen it with the help of an example. Also we have seen couple of uses, that is in order to manage the shareable resource or in order to manage the resource which is going to be shared by all the objects of the class. Another use is to keep a track of how many objects of a class are being created, and there are some other very important uses of static variables as well. Now static variables we have covered completely. What is left is static member functions, and those static member functions we will be covering in the upcoming lecture. Hope you have enjoyed the lecture. Here is a list of references which is being used for preparation of this lecture. Thank you.